Okay, good morning, good afternoon, uh, everyone. Once again, on behalf of Colombo Plan Staff College, I would like to welcome all of you. This is Ram Hari Lamichane, Director General, Colombo Plan Staff College. So hope most of our Muslim friends are happy today because they completed whole 1 month Ramadan period, and yesterday they celebrated well the great Eid al-Fitr. Similarly, very good morning and good afternoon from CPSC. Today, I'm going to present about the branding and image building of the TVET. So how can we enhance our TVET programs image, and how can we create branding things. So I'm going to present. Haniji, is it okay?
Yes, sir, it is fine.
Okay. Okay. So I'm presenting about the branding and image building of TVET. So all of you are aware about the what is brand and what is the image thing. So how can we enhance the image of the TVET programs? I'll start my presentations with a small video of one of the polytechnics of the United States. That is, sorry. This is the Florida Polytechnic University's image. Just you can observe it. Okay, thank you. Hope you enjoyed with this video. I think when we saw this video, then we can feel how that institute is. That actually that is the innovation, science and technology building of that polytechnic. So we can feel from the presentations of that video and visuals things and the establishment and the infrastructures. So that is the kind of things, brand and image we can feel. So my presentation today will cover about the introduction, how can we establish brand and image of TVET, and some examples and conclusion and a way forward. Let's see, what's this? So everybody know, this is the logo of Nike. And this, the logo of the Spanish, famous football club Barcelona. And this one, logo of Switzerland, Swiss logo, white cross. And this one, Apple. And this is TAFE South Australia, like TAFE Australia, And this is the logo of Harvard. So when we see these logos, we can feel, well, what is this? Like what that product, what brand is this? This is a kind of brand we can feel. So now I'm going to present what is a brand. Brand is not a logo. When we saw those logos, only logo is not a brand, or a brand name or a product name. In fact, it's not any one thing. Actually, when people ask, what is your brand? You cannot say my brand is my name, my brand is my logo, my brand is my service. No. Actually, your brand is everything. Means not only logo, not only name, not only service, the whole things when we provide very authentic and very high quality standard, then we can claim that that is our brand. That's why perception of your organizations, products and service in people's mind. So what our peoples, like other people, community, stakeholders feels about our organizations, our institute, that is the whole thing is called brand. That's why just a logo or name is not brand. So there will be two important things in the brand. One is brand identity, another is brand image. So maybe, when we see the logo or name of the institute, for example, any of the Polytechnic Institute name or technical school's name, that is a kind of brand identity. But when we talk about brand image is the perceptions or feelings of our peoples, like a community, stakeholders, our partners, how they feel about our organizations, our institute. That is called brand image. Okay, that's why the brand always comes with these two things, brand identity and brand image. So what is a brand? So now you can see the same logos. Some logos are here. There are Nike, Swiss logo that we can feel, like a Switzerland. Then Nestle. When we see just Nestle, what do we feel? Nestle means, oh, definitely chocolate, milk product, and very quality things, the food items, from Switzerland. So that both Nestle itself is an introduction, like identity or product, but same time when we see the Nestle, somebody like myself, we feel some watery mouth because of the very high quality dairy products. Similarly, TAFE South, like TAFE Australia means, oh, that's the quality training institute and quality skills training things we can feel. Like Apple here, and this is the TESDA logo from Philippines, and this is ITE. This is the Institute of Technical Education Singapore. So this is also a quality and very well established, polytechnic in the Singapore institute in the Singapore skills training institute. Another important is Levi's. When we see the Levi's, this is a kind of jeans, everybody feel, and clothes brand. That's why In brand, there will be a symbol brand, like these four are considered as a symbol brand. And another set of brand is called name brand. Okay, one we can create our brand as a symbol. Another set we can create our brand as a name, or both symbol. And there are some brand, with both name and brand symbol. So that's why brand is not a single thing. So brand always comes sometimes symbol, sometimes name and symbol both. So that's why brand is the identity and image of the institutions, organizations. So that is the brand. So what is branding? What is difference between brand and branding? The process of creating, not only creating. When we create something like a symbol or name, that is a kind of identity of brand. But when we create, we have to maintain that. When we establish one brand at a time, then we have to maintain that, we have to strengthen that, and brand can be changed. If you remember, like a Nike, previously Nike, they used to wrote both symbols, sword and Nike. But now they are putting just sword, means brand can be changed, changing a brand. That's why the process from brand identity to brand image, the whole process, continuous cycle is called branding. It is a powerful and sustainable marketing strategy. So branding is a kind of marketing strategy, very powerful and sustainable marketing strategy of any company, organizations, or TVET institutions where we are working. Similarly, it influences the perception of customers. That's why branding is a continuous process. It is not one-time activity. From brand identity to maintain brand image, always this is a kind of cycle. This is a continuous effort. It is called branding. That's why, like sometimes people call where your parents or where your sons is. Sometimes people say he has gone to marketing. We'll say marketing. Marketing is not that. We have to say they have gone to shopping. But marketing means from raw materials generating place to final consumers, the whole process, like backward and forward linkage, the whole process of a product and service is called marketing. Similarly, branding means from establishment or create a branding to maintain its image. The whole process is called branding. And this is a very powerful tools for the marketing of our product or service. Okay. Hope now you are very clear about brand and branding and brand identity and brand image. We'll discuss more here. So now I'm presenting one summary branding process. So what are the branding process here? First, we have to define, like, agree objectives, needs, and priorities. So what is our brand? How can we, what is the objectives to put this brand, and why do we need, and what are the priorities we have to explain through brand? That is very important. Then we can analyze it, like we can review our existing brand research. So in the branding, always we have to do a lot of research based on market response, based on our stakeholders response. Sometimes in our certificate, when we put a logo, or let's say certification things, people might have given a lot of information, feedback. So we have to do all sort of research. Then brand identity, values, culture, everything we have to analyze properly. That is the second step. And third, we have to involve in the branding process, like internal brand consultations with the staff and management. So when we want to create a brand or branding things, always we have to discuss with our team, internally and externally both. And we have to involve our people to the development of the branding things. Otherwise, staff will not take ownership. If only principal or director involved in the branding process, maybe other staff, they might don't know what is happening in the institutions, how we are promoting our product and services, how we are marketing it, how we are linking with our customers, how we are developing our social reputations, how we are working with the local government, how we are working with the industries, what is our objectives. All the things we have to explain, and we have to involve in the process to our staff. Then only your entire team will take responsibility, or they will take ownership. And similarly, based on that, when the consensus comes, then we have to create like a brand strategic brand teamwork. We have to create a team, like if you are talking about branding and image building, you can develop one unit within the organizations, or you can form a committee, branding and image building committee, like 3 persons, 5 persons, or including all trade heads. You can principal, vice principal, and all the trade heads, department head, you can make a committee for the branding and image building team. Then that committee will work like a values, personalities, and visions of the organizations, everything, and drive communications, behaviors, and positioning. So we have to communicate what is happening to our stakeholders very properly. Okay, and after that, the final process is implement and evaluate. So when we complete all the forming a committee, then developing a vision, then developing the values, architect, design, everything, and positioning our brand, then we have to implement. We have to, like if you are introducing new programs, for example 21st century skills, or you can say AI component in your curricula, means that is also one activity of branding, because you are bringing artificial intelligence, ICT, or digital technology to enhance your image and to cope with the 21st century skills. Means that is one of the element of your branding process. That's why we have to implement it, and we have to evaluate. This is from the slideshare.com. That's why define, analyze, involve, create, and implement and evaluate. This is the process of branding. So now we are talking about the brand identities, because I already talked. So brand identity means unique set of brand, like association that the strategists aspire to create or maintain. Like when we see the logo, for example, this logo I am presenting here, German dual vocational training. So we can easily identify what is that, no? So when we see the logo, that's why if you just put, like a logo, then you can feel the other associated parts there. Means
Yeah.
German dual training means we know that there will be two parties, three parties.
Dr. Ram,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. I think your slide size is not displaying properly. Please reopen it, or maybe just change the view option from view option, because it is not displaying complete slide. Yeah.
So what we have to do?
Maybe you just start once again. Just close the slides and open it once again.
What's the problem?
I think you maybe press a button from the view option. That's why.
So we have to go to whiteboard? No. Is it okay?
Now it's okay, sir.
No, it's okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Okay.
Okay. So that's why brand is not only name. When we talk about the brand identity, it is a unique set of brand association. That's why I was telling, like German dual vocational training means there will be a three parties: industry, institute, and apprentice, and the industries. Okay. So these associations always represent what the brand stands for and imply a promise to customers. Means when we talk about the brand associations, means always it will tell what we are providing to our customers. Similarly, the collection of all elements that a company creates to portray the right image of its consumer. Means brand identity means when you talk about brand, then for consumers, your organization's pottery you will rightly create. So when somebody talk about, for example, ABC Polytechnics, then your customers will understand, oh, that Polytechnics, they have a very good technical team, the very good leaderships, and well infrastructures. For example, I showed the video of that Florida Polytechnics. When we see the logo of Florida Polytechnics, people will feel that image. That's why the brand identity is not just a name. There are many other elements comes with. Okay, so when we see one brand, like I showed you the Nestle's or Swiss logos. Swiss logos means we always remember beautiful country and rich country, and watch, Swiss watches, Swiss chocolates. It comes with the association. That's why it is called brand association. So this is a very important part of the brand identity. And why brand identity? Why we need brand identity? You can see some logos of our member countries, like Colombo Plan Staff member countries, like this one from Afghanistan, Bangladesh Technical Education Board. This is a Bhutan, and similarly, the Fiji's, India National Skills Development Corporation, the Ministry of Educations from the Maldives, Malaysia Qualification Authority, MQA, they call Malaysian Qualification Authority, and this is from the Mongolia, and this is from Myanmar, and TVET from Nepal, NAPTEC Pakistan, and Papua New Guinea, TESDA Philippines, IT Singapore, and this one is Sri Lanka and Thailand. See, when we see these logos, we feel, oh, technical educations, authority, and they are providing quality training. That's why the logo itself is just a logo, but when we see logo, many other things we feel, that is called brand identity. That's why we need brand identity externally. For external parties, it shapes our brand image. When we develop a very good brand identity, always it contribute to develop our brand image. It will give a very right directions towards brand image building approach. Another things, it provides relationship and choice. Basis, foundation. So brand identity is a foundation to develop relationship and develop brand image building with our partner organizations and stakeholders. And internally, when you have a very good brand identity, it stimulates your programs and prioritize initiatives. So because during brand identity process, we will identify our strategic goal, visions, missions, like quality management system, strategic plan. Then we will prioritize our initiatives. We will prioritize our programs. So it stimulates those things. And when you have a very good brand identity mechanism, then it will inspire your team. So brand identity is not only logo, your quality management system, your entire team, your surroundings, your infrastructure, all is called brand identity. Okay, I will explain a little more. So now we are talking about brand image. So there is a problem. We always talk, technical TVET is not considered as a priority sectors in the country. It is always considered as a second options. So, and sometimes people feel this is the segment for poor and deprived community, because we are not able to develop the image of the TVET. That's why we have to develop brand image. When we are talking about brand image always come with image of the maker, means image of the institute. So how is the image of that organization, that polytechnic in the society? And how is the image of that institute, different programs? So within institute, there might be 10, 20 or 5 different programs. So the brand image means institutional image always comes with the principal image, leadership image, who develop that, the team image, then our programs like technical education, skills training program, diploma programs, or whatever program you are providing, the image of program and services, and image of user. And brand image always comes who is using, who is coming to our programs, what type of students. That's why I told, if only poor students comes in the TVET, means they consider this is the program for poor. But in developed country, many people comes, like all segment, like rich and poor both. So TVET has a very high image, like in Germany, Korea, and Singapore things. So we have to be developed that. So who is the user, and image of user means, and another is, so who are taking our graduates, like means industry, what type of industry. So you can do a promotion, you can do branding. If your graduates are occupying by very renowned company nationally and internationally, that is a kind of element you can enhance your image in your marketing, in your promotion. You can give the example of that. And that's why who is using our students, our graduates, that is also a kind of element for brand image. Okay, then image of competing brand. So how is the image of other polytechnic institute, how is the image of the other institutions, how they are conducting programs. That is a kind of like a private, there might be some both private and public. Sometimes some countries public TVET program is very good. In some countries, private TVET program is very good. In that case, private and public institute might be a competing organization. And within the public also, there is a competing environment. So what is the image of competing brand or competing organization, competing institute? That is also, help contribute to develop our brand image. Sometimes, if we are not performing well, but other competing technical schools, polytechnics are even worse than us, that time our brand image will enhance, even though we are not doing good. That's why that is the another approach. But always we have to try to be a very leading organizations within the community, within the country. And brand equity. And how is that brand, like that brand is equally accessible or not. What are the community, like who are coming to our institutions, what type of people are, because our TVET programs should be all segment of people. We cannot ignore one group of people. And so within the organization also, how we are treating our staff, are we providing equally, transparent, like good governance within the institutions or not. So brand equity means the governance and management, accessibility and equitable distribution to the community and different ethnic groups, how they are coming to our institute. So all elements, if the image of these elements are good, then automatically your institutional or your program brand the image will high. Okay, so that's why now I'm talking about what is image building. So image building is the improving the image of a brand. Like we talked about what is the image of the brand, means perception of our customers, perception of our stakeholders towards our brand is called brand image. Okay, that's why improving the image of brand with the perception of customers are all. So we have to always work to enhance the image of our brand, and long-term bond or never break. So image building means this is the long-term bond, means with institution, TVET institutions and your customers or your partner organizations or your stakeholders. So if you are able to continue your relationship for long-term bond or never break. So, no divorce. If you are able to maintain your relationship with your customers and stakeholders for longer period of without any divorce, then that is called brand image building. So like, this is like a Nestle beer brand, means people will understand this is a milk product, dairy, milk. Nestle beer brand is related with milk. Means we feel that, oh, Nestle milk is always high quality than other milks. So they are charging high price, even though customers are looking for that because of the high long-term bond of the customers. So that's why image building means continuously maintain your brand image with your stakeholders and customers is called image building. So this image building we already talked. This is a like branding. Branding always is contributing for image building. So we should maintain our image. If you break your image, then it will be difficult to maintain in this society. Okay. So now I'm giving one example here: organization image versus brand image. For example, Dhaka Polytechnic Institute, Bangladesh. It established in 1955. One of the very old and very renowned institute in Bangladesh. So it has one image. Dhaka Polytechnic Institute has its own image that is called organization image. Okay, and within Dhaka Polytechnics there are different 9 departments like architecture, electricals, civil, electronics, chemical and food, environmental, computer, mechanical, and power. So within that, like nine different programs or departments, there might be department might not have same image. Maybe Dhaka Polytechnic's image lie with very high with architecture or with mechanical or power engineering. Okay, that's why sometimes organization image is one place and program image. So if you are conducting different programs, if you are able to maintain all programs with high image, then it will be a great organizations. Otherwise, sometimes the organizational image will be one and program image will be another. So it is called organization image versus program image. Some institutions are none for specific programs. So all programs of one institute may not be equally high image. So that's why where is our focus? You want to maintain organizational image, or you want to maintain all the programs brand image? That is very important. So where is your choice? You can do that. If you maintain all your brand's image, automatically organization image will come. So branding strategy. So we know about what is brand, what is branding, what is brand identity, what is brand image, how can we develop building the image. That's process. So to maintain branding things, image building of organization, branding, you have to develop different strategy. So single strategy will not work. So sometimes, like this is called branding strategy. Why I am putting this picture here? This is called because Nike company always take Roger Federer to promote their product. That's why both Roger Federer and Nike can be considered as a brand. So not only Nike, you can see the logo of Nike here in his, head and in his arms, the product of, Nike. But when we see this, we feel Roger Federer itself is a brand. That's why big company pay a lot of money for them and they choose. That's why this is a kind of strategy. And there might be many other strategies we can take, So to enhance your image of the TVET institutions, I already told, we have to form a brand image building committee, and that committee has to develop many strategies, and these strategies should be in our strategic plan or operational plan, in our organizational strategy. Then only we can do something. So now I'm going to talk about how to build a strong brand image. So we talk about brand. So how can we build a strong brand image? So this is from the source is the walkerscience.com. So you can go there and you can see detail. So this, according to this walkerscience.com, there are specifically two two ways we can develop the brand image. Building a foundation for a strong brand image is one. Another is solidifying your brand image. Solidifying means solid, like solid, how you like a compact, how you will make your brand image is a very intact, very long terms. That is called solid, means solidifying is a form of solids. That's why these are two things. First is foundations. Foundation works like identify your key audience, determine critical business goals, define your brand persona means like key differentiators and benefits with image. So what is the brand personality? Why we are different? And develop key messaging like important takeaway to the customers. Similarly, solidifying brand, so public relation, content, socials. I am going to present in detail of this. Okay. Now, building a foundation for a strong brand image. Number one, identify your key audience, potential customers. First, we have to identify our key audience or potential customer. Like in our TVET programs, you cannot just say youth is our customer. Youth is our customer. But within youth, there might be many groups. So who is your real direct customers? Who is our target group? So youth, grade 10 pass, grade 12 pass, or illiterate, because some vocational training you have to provide for illiterate people also. That's why we have to identify our key customers. And like industries, you cannot say general industries. Who is the relevant industries for your program? You have to identify, you have to make a list, you have to develop from long list, you have to develop short list of your potential partner industries. So directly, these two parties are very direct customer for technical education program. Youths, our students, potential students, then who are our industries to whom we have to work. That's why first strategy to make if you are talking, if you want to develop your brand image, a good brand, first you have to identify this is a foundation or your potential customers. If you want to serve everyone, you cannot develop image. You cannot develop, branding image. For example, if some tourism industries, tourism related polytechnic institute, if they want to work with 100 hotels, maybe when sometimes, hotels demand, need some students as for the on-the-job training. If you couldn't provide them, maybe your relationship will break. That's why don't go with 100 industry. Select a specific industry where you can provide regular services from your polytechnic institute or your training institute. Then only your industry partner will happy. If you break your services once or in one season, they will not invite you again. They will be angry. That's why we have to identify our key potential customers. Okay, that is one. This is a foundation. Second foundation element is determine business goals as a strategic plan. So every institute, you have a strategic plan. You have to develop your organizational strategic plan, and within that strategic plan, there will be a business goal, organizational goal, specific goal. So we have to determine our goal. That goal should be smart. Is my goal smart? So you have to ask questions. Is my goal smart or not? Like a specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. If you set your goal, but you don't know where do you reach, when do you reach, what are the reaching point, how do you reach, by when will you achieve that goal? If you don't know that, that is not your business goal. That is just ambiguous statement. That statement cannot give you clear directions. For example, if you do not set your goal without time bound, means if you achieve that goal, if you achieve after 1 year or 5 year or 10 year, it will be safe. But how can we measure efficiency? We can't. That's why when we are talking about to set organizational goal, always it should be smart. That's why ask, is my goal is smart or not? That is the second foundations element for the strong brand image. And third element is define your brand persona. Like brand persona, you can see the thumb, this is a, in every individual, they have a different identity in thumb, thumb marks. Similarly, we have to create a brand which should be different than others. Don't worry about similar logo, but how you are different with your competing organizations, how you are the difference than other polytechnics, how you are the difference than other thing in, for example, in relationship with industry, recruiting students, hiring a teacher, or delivering, learning things, classroom things, and student service, providing student service, how you are the different. So always try to define your brand persona, means individual brand, and differentiate with others, so yourself. And it should be consistent, and it should be authentic, consistent, be authentic, and make it be different than others, and be yourself. Don't copy from others. You should know why this brand is. Then only you can develop your brand image. That this is a third important element of the foundation part. And fourth one is, for the foundation for a strong brand image, develop key messaging. What we are providing, like for our customers, we have to give them key message of our organizations. For example, so you have to tell your customers, my institute, my polytechnic is offering 21st century skills. That is a message. Second might be where to work. So you should be able to answer, after graduating from my polytechnics or my TVET institute, these graduates can work this place, that industry. They can work easily in Japan. They can work in Korea. They can work in Middle East. They can work in Canada. They can work in Malaysia. They can work in SAARC countries. They can work in Asia Pacific regions, or they can work in Nepal, or they can work in Bangladesh, India, where, and within the country, in what type of employers. So if you able to answer, after graduating from my institute, you can work in these big industries, big company, like 5-star hotel. Or you can answer, after graduating, 100% of my graduates, if they are willing to do, they can start their own business. So if you answer those things, that is a kind of foundations for your brand. If you cannot answer this, where they will work, that is not the branding process. Why people come? They feel, oh, I can get employment in this company. That's why I have to join this organization. That's why you have to answer where to work. Then affordable. You have to give message. The programs in my institute, in our institute, is affordable. Anybody can pay. If community feel that Polytechnic A is only for rich people who can pay per month $1,000, or let's say 50,000 rupees, means people will not come. So it should be affordable to all. Then another point is globally competent workforce. So you have to give message to the people, to the potential customers. So our institutions is providing 21st century skills, and whoever graduate from this institute, they are globally competent workforce, not only for particular country or particular community. Then quality of life. After study in institute, they will get gainful employment. Then their quality of life will improve. You have to give that type of message. Then assets for the nations. The unemployed youths are liabilities for the nation. But when that unemployed youth graduated from your polytechnic or your institute, they will be assets for the nation. Means they can generate wealth, they can generate money. That's why that unemployed youth will convert to assets from liabilities. So this type of message we have to give to our stakeholders. This is a kind of develop key messaging. Each and every institute, you have to develop key messaging things. So second elements, like we talked about, how can we enhance the brand, solidifying your brand image. First, you have to maintain public relations. This is very important, PR. If you have a very good public relations, so public relation things also, sometimes, public relation means individual, like a leader, like a principal of institute. If one principal is very dynamic, he can do public relation well, that institutions can do very good partnership and linkages with other stakeholders. But when the second persons come, if he or she doesn't have that skills, the relation might break. That's why in good organizational management, in the very good institutions, we have to develop system. Within the institute, we have to develop system for the public relations. It should not be rely on single individual. That PR should be done by a system, like a public relations always comes with news, media, social thing, message, communication, organization, advertising, all are, everywhere we can do public relations. So that's why public relation is very important for the solidifying your brand image, means making strong your brand image. Second is content. So you create a brand, but if you want to make a strong brand image, your content should be very clear and very, if you want to, like, for example, if you want to give message, your content should be clear. Means your content should be developed based on who is using that message, who is looking at our brand, who is our users, and what we have to put there. Sometimes, we want to give a message about the mechanical programs, but if we wrongly, write a content or visual things, people feel that is another programs, like an electrical program, means that is the objectives will not solve. That's why what, then where we are giving that message, that is also important. In which segment? So niche market is very important. And when are we giving that content? So if you are talking like during the entrance period, like student recruitment time, content might be different. And during the ongoing programs, if you want to talk with industry, there might be different things. So why are we giving another important? Then how? Okay, so your content, whatever you want to do, your branding things, your content should be answer these 5 WH questions: who, what, where, when, why, and how. Another element is social. Whatever informations are, like I showed that video of the Florida Polytechnic, they have put that in a YouTube website. That's why everybody, if I want to go to Florida Poly, then I will see that image. Then one sort of motivations will arise, like stimulations will come. That's why we can, for the brand image, solidifying our brand, we can promote, we can make a social things with different media, like different media here, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. Nowadays there are different media. So we can develop website. You can develop your alumni group, alumni Facebook page. There are many ways, and you can create a social network. You can create develop like a social committee with your employer, with your previous graduates, with your teachers, with your team. Then you can organize a social gathering every month, maybe 5-6 people. You can invite those team and offer a coffee or tea with snacks. Then you can talk about the progress of institute every month. Then they will give you some input to you, this type of social things with media, and you with your personal and group people. So that is another way to make your brand solid. And third, always we have to develop search engine. For example, if I want to browse Dhaka Polytechnic, or I want to browse IT Singapore, then when we go to the search, which search engine is more better? Like nowadays, Google is more popular. Like once upon a time in the beginning, Yahoo was there. Now most of the people, almost 99% people, they don't use Yahoo. So now people are considering Google is everything. That's why you have to choose right search engine and right content. Like in when you are talking search engine, if you want to pass the message of your institutions, your promotional things, content through the different social media or website or different things, then you have to consult with the expert how to make a catchy word. Sometimes why people want to search, but because of the word, whatever you publish in the website, it will not come. Because that's why we have to take a consultation from expert, IT expert or designer, web designer. Then they can give you some clue. That's why another way of solidifying your brand image is we have to apply some search engine. We have to develop website, lot of things. So from website also we can promote about our institute. So another things, there are like a branding technique. These slides here .coms give some suggestions what we discuss, like select valuable customers, consumer driven marketing cycle, because we know potential youth or our industry are our direct customers. Parents also are our customers because they finance for the TVET programs. That's why when we want to develop our marketing things to our customers, we can apply this process. First, we have to develop our strategy, like we already discussed. You must have your strategic plan. You must have your vision, mission, goal, objective, strategies, and activities. Then you can map the marketplace. Where is your niche market? So if you see the 10 years data, like a particular district, specific district, or specific local government, like a municipalities, about 80% students come from that district, means you can give high priority to that district because that is your needs marketplace, from where you can bring more students. And you can see the industry, which industry is providing you more on the job training or internship or apprenticeship opportunities, or they are providing job to your graduates. Then you have to map the marketplace. Okay, then potential market area, select most valuable customers, we already discussed, and choose a winning positioning. So in that marketplace, what will be the winning position? So if we did this, then we can touch the heart of that marketplace or that industry. Means in different industry, like a different industry partner, you can apply different strategy. So some of your partners will be happy to provide job to your graduates. Some partners will be happy to provide your students for on the job training. That's why there are two types of industry. One is providing job, one is providing opportunity for on the job training. That's why your winning positioning should be different. Don't treat something, you have to treat differently. Okay, that is very important. Then create the tactical plan. Always, the single plan cannot work. If the one plan, single plan fail, then we have to apply tactical or alternative plan. So that is, you should have a very, backup plan, alternate plan. Sometimes people fail because most of the institute, they feel that a traditional way, only single plan, and when that single plan didn't work, they cannot immediately develop a tactical plan or alternative plan. That's why tactics should be there and build operational. So whatever you develop your strategies or in plan, it should be operational. Then define performance measures. So what will be your expected outcomes? So it is like a defined performance measure. Then execute the tactical plan and assess performance. This is also like plan, do, check, act. Plan means strategies and tactics is plan. Then actions is implementation, do. Then assess performance is, the check and succeed and improve is your active action. So PDCA. So blue part is plan, blue and gray part, this two part is plan, and this is the do, check and act. Okay, that's why always we have to apply these consumer driven marketing cycles. Then it will contribute to enhance the brand image within our stakeholders. So now I'm going to show you one video how to build a brand. Okay, please see this, how to build a brand.
Today, we're going to talk about 6 steps to building your brand. Coming up next, we help small businesses grow with our marketing and design, talent, and technology through our #1 marketing platform, Marketing 360. We call marketing and design math. We love math. And hopefully these videos will help you follow us in that too. So make sure to follow us to learn tips, tricks, and strategies to grow your business and fuel your brand. Step 1 is to decide who you are and what you stand for. At your core, your brand really needs to reflect who you are. Insert your own personality into the brand. Insert your own desires and dreams and wishes. A brand is just a reflection of you, really. So by focusing on what you want to accomplish and who you are as a person is a great way to build a brand that has a long-lasting impression and really drives customers through your doors. Paying attention to what you stand for and what you mean, what you wish a brand could be, is extremely valuable and very important. So keep that in mind. Step number 2 is to research your audience and your competition. You want to make sure that you're reaching the right people. So you need to define who your audience is. Is your audience older? Are they younger? Are they men? Are they women? Are they college graduates? Whatever that happens to be, you want to make sure that your brand is reflective of what they're looking for, something that really means something to them. Additionally, you want to see what your competition is doing. Identify what they're doing right, and then also look at what they're doing wrong. Is there opportunity for you to come in and shake up the industry a little bit? You can do this with colors, brand name, logo, how you identify yourself, how your brand identifies. You do want to make sure, though, that you're not just making changes and trying to be different just for the sake of being different. Pay attention to what your consumers want, and pay attention to the people that have been in the industry longer than you have. Chances are they've already figured out a couple of reasons as to why they do one thing versus why they do something else. So by identifying and looking into their history, you can avoid some pitfalls that you might otherwise fall into. Really, though, at the end of the day, if you're able to match what your customers are looking for, and that brand is a reflection of who you are and what you want your brand to speak for, that's your goal, and that's what you should aim for. Step number 3 is to define your voice. How do you want to speak to your customers, and what should that voice look like? Are you looking at different channels, social channels, digital channels, print media, things like that? Where are your customers going to find you? And when they do, what are you saying to them? Are you a humorous brand? Are you very professional and serious? Do you occasionally make jokes? What do you want to say to them, and how do you want that to come across? Once you define what that voice is, you can ensure that your logo and your branding and your color choice and your website all reflect that. Your message and your voice have to be congruent, and they have to match each other. Additionally, when you're thinking about where your voice is going to be heard, like we talked about what channels, whether it's social media or it's print media or it's radio or TV, you want to make sure that your voice will cut through the noise. It's not just static, not just things that people have heard all the time and they've kind of become numb to it. By focusing in on where your customer is, because you've already defined who they are, using the voice that you've chosen and defining your message on those correct channels, you have the best opportunity to make sure that you're showing up to them when it's relevant and when they're really looking to interact with your brand. Step number 4 is to invest in your brand. Now, we're not just talking financially, but that is a large part of it. If you're a luxury brand, then you should have a luxury experience. You don't need to cut corners on your logo designs or your apparel or your swag or your website. Your brand and your brand assets need to match each other. Are you a brand that is really built on trust? Well, then in that case, you need to work very, very hard to earn the trust of your customers, and your brand assets should reflect that. Your website should be professional. Your logo should be professional and well done. The colors that you choose as a part of this should convey trust. Now, so by matching your brand foundation with your brand assets, you really are able to increase the amount of trust or value that your brand is able to bring to your consumers. This is a part that a lot of people will skip. They try to cut corners or maybe save a little bit of money or save some time by utilizing resources that were created for them in the past before their brand was even defined. Maybe this is something that you're cutting corners on a little bit just because of time or because you don't have the finances to really create what you want. If that's the case, you need to revisit what your brand really truly needs. Now, of course, there's opportunities to allow your brand message and your brand definition to kind of emerge over time. But really, if you can spend the time and energy and invest in your brand in the beginning, you're able to save a lot of that time and a lot of money over the next course of the multiple years that you're in business. Really investing in your brand is extremely important because it's one of the first things that consumers will recognize you for. They'll recognize your logo, they'll recognize your brand message, they'll see your truck, they'll see employees wearing the shirts, anything like that. So make sure that you're investing in high quality, and then make sure that whatever you're using for your brand, whatever that message is reflected in your assets. It's extremely important to focus on that because if you miss this step, you're going to be paying for it down the road. Invest in your brand with your assets and spend time here. It'll save you money down the road. Step number 5 is to think big, act local. Now, you don't just need to be a service-based company or a local business in order to do this. This can be e-commerce, this can be global agencies, global businesses. It doesn't really matter. Think big, act local. Get involved in local festivals. Get involved in supporting local nonprofits. Sponsor a school sports team, anything like that. There's obviously a balance between spending a lot of money and getting a tiny logo in the corner of some poster and actually investing in the local community. A dollar turns on average 6 times in a local community. So if you're going to be there, you need to be involved. You need to be involved from a financial aspect. You need to be involved in the different events that are happening. You just need to be involved in the community, and the community will adopt you as one of your own. Now, it's a little easier if you or your business have been in this area for a long time. People already maybe they know who you are, or they know you as a person, so they're a little bit more willing to trust you. If you're new into a community and you're just getting started, or you've moved your business from one area to another, this becomes a lot more important. If you're going to be here, you need to be involved in the community. And it doesn't matter if you're a service account, a service business, a local business, an e-commerce, or a global industry. It doesn't really matter. If you're going to be in the local community, invest in it, and it will pay dividends. Step number 6 is to be your brand. Your brand doesn't stop with a website or a logo or flyers or newspaper ads or digital media or anything like that. Really, the core message of your brand should be you. You're your biggest brand advocate. You know the brand better than anybody else, and you lead the charge defining what that brand is going to look like for your business, for your employees, for your customers. You have to live the brand. If you're a brand built on trust, you need to be an upstanding, trustworthy individual. If you have a brand that's built on providing great service, then that's something that you have to live yourself. This is especially important for local service businesses because your name gets around and people know who the owner is, especially in smaller communities. It's extremely important to make sure that that's the case. But we can look at many different examples from large global businesses where the CEO didn't reflect the value that the brand was supposed to exude. Really pay attention here. If you cannot live the lifestyle of the brand that you are trying to focus and grow and mature, then you need to refocus what your brand really is. Ensuring that your brand is reflective of you and that you reflect the brand is a great way to ensure that your message gets across and it's lived from the top down. If you don't live the lifestyle that your brand is exuding, your employees won't, and your customers won't get it either. And finally, I've got a bonus tip for you. Your brand at its core is really what customers say about you when you're not in the room. What are people saying about your brand? Do they agree with your brand message or do they disagree? That may not be a bad thing. It's not a bad idea to allow your brand some room to grow and some room to adapt over time. If you begin to understand that your customers are expecting something different, or they're looking for a different service or a different core tenet of your brand over time, it's not a bad thing to allow that to happen naturally. Pay attention to what your customers want. Pay attention to the culture that's being cultivated by your employees. As your brand grows, it's natural for it to adapt to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new core tenets. It's not a bad thing. Keep an eye on it, and it's a great way to ensure that your brand will grow over time and be in business for years. want to thank everybody for watching. If you like this, please like, share, and comment. We're always looking for new content and new ideas. So if you have a suggestion on a video you'd like us to do, just let us know and we'll be sure to produce it. I want to thank you so much for watching and happy marketing.
Okay, so according to this video, like there are 60 steps. How can we build our brand? So when we are talking about brand, when we are talking about our institute, like a TVET institute, you are the key persons who can make your brand successful, means principal, the institution head. They should know how to deal with employee. They should know how to deal with customer, how to behave with customers. Then you are the key persons. So that is the message. And another thing is always we have to focus on our customers, because they are the persons like our students, our industry, our parents, our community. They are the persons, or let's say organizations, who evaluate us. Means if they in their perception our TVET institution is a good, that means good brand, good image. That's why we have to follow those 6 steps. Thank you for watching this video. So now, based on that, the foundation part of the brand and image building things, what are the indicators of high image of TVET? So if we are talking my TVET institute, my institute has a very high image. What are the indicators? Like a very, very bold indicators. Number one, your customers. Means students, parents, employers, customer satisfaction is the number one indicator. If they are satisfied well, like when we do like a survey also, after completion of programs, we do a kind of evaluations from our students. Sometimes we conduct treasury study and we get the perception of industries, and you can do the parent survey also. Then they will tell if they are satisfied. Means if our customers are satisfied, that is a good indicator of high image. Means acquired competencies, like students said, yeah, whatever we have learned, that is a very good competencies. And the same thing the industry will tell, oh, your graduates have very good competencies which we are looking for. Means that is the best way of putting our brand in the marketplace. And return on investment, like parents or students or industry, if they are investing in our institute, if that is a private institute, if the investors are getting return of their investment, for example ROI, return on investment, if you put 100,000 in the bank, you will get 6% interest. If you invest that 100,000 in Polytechnic Institute, if you get 15% as an bonus, means your ROI is good. That is for investor. But students, if they invest for learning, if they get good job, gainful employment, or they able to establish their enterprise, that is ROI for them. Return on investment. Like parents, if their sons or daughters, after graduating from technical schools or polytechnics, if they consider as assets for the nations, or they started to do income, means that is good ROI for parents. And same for industry. If industry get competent workforce, qualified workforce, skilled workforce as an on-the-job training or internee or workers, that is a good return on investment for the, sometimes the industry also can invest in the many countries. Industries are also invested in the polytechnic system. So we will see ROI and supply of competent workforce for the industry. So customers will satisfy if we do this. That's why customer satisfaction is the one major indicators of your high image. How they feel. If your customers feel, oh, that institute, they make a very like a negative comment. When somebody external evaluators or somebody asks about some particular institute, if this customers or our stakeholders complain about that institute means they don't have high image. Another is positive perception of other stakeholders. Other stakeholders means like our ministry, our department, other organizations like development partners, like donors, or other organizations who are supporting to us. If they feel, oh, this is very good institute, their perception is very good, means positive, means that is a high image. Another is gainful employment of the graduates. If our graduates get gainful employment, that is the very important things. You know, if we cannot produce, if more than 80% of the graduates of particular institutions are unemployed, means community will say that institute is not good because they are not the organizations who produce competent workforce, they are producing unemployed TVET graduates. If that message comes to the market, our image will go down. That's why gainful employment of graduates is another indicator of the image building, and high ethical and moral value of the institutions in the society. If in the society, if the institutions has a very high ethical and moral value, automatically your image will come higher. For example, people feel, oh, graduates of that institute means they are very ethical, they are honest, they have integrity part, and they are very social and humble graduates. Competent means that will give the message about the institution. But some institutions, oh, the graduate of that institutions, more, majority of them are the drug users, alcoholic, and they teach to the girls, female. That type of habit they have means that is a negative impact in the society. That's why another indicator is high ethical and moral value of the institution in the society is the indicator of high image. That's why customer satisfaction, positive perception of the stakeholders, gainful employment of the graduates, high ethical and moral value of the institution in the society. These are the very important indicators of the high image of the TVET institution. Okay. So reasons of low brand image of TVET. Why? Sometimes, because these are the indicators we talked about high image, but sometimes we feel, low brand image of TVET in the society or in the marketplace. There might be some reasons like factors. Number one is governance and management. If we lacking of quality management system in place, that is one reason of low image. That's why every TVET institutions, you have to develop good governance and management. To maintain good governance and management, you must have quality management system in place. Whatever the principle says, that if that is the policy, means that institution is not good institution. Because principle is one of the element of the organizations, one of the identity of brand. Within the 10-20 elements of the brand identity, principle or leader is one element, important element. But if principal's voice becomes the policy of that institution, that means that is not the quality management system. So governance and management system is weak, means that is the low brand image. And learning environment, inadequate facilities. If within our institutions, the facilities is inadequate based on the minimum requirement of the government or market or industry, that means poor learning environment is the another reason for low brand image. Third factor is lack of industry exposure, competency, and teaching and learning experience of the human resource, like teachers. We have teachers, we have many teachers, instructors, and human resources, but most of our teachers doesn't have industry exposure, and they are lacking teaching and learning competencies for 21st century skills, means the brand image will be low. Similarly, outputs of TVET institution is graduates, right? That's why low graduation rate due to quality program and poor selection system. If you enroll 1,000 students every year, and out of that, only 200 students graduates and 800 students could not get certificate, means only 20% graduation of your system, means the output is very low. That's why people will not send their kids to your children to your organization, because they feel, oh, that institution cannot produce more than 20%. The result is below 20%. Means that's why low graduation rate due to quality program and poor selection. Why I mention here poor selection? In many countries, TVET institutions are collecting students, not selecting. So if you are collecting students, definitely your output will be low, because you don't see about their aptitude, their competence, their personality, their personal traits. Is that personal traits or personality is matched with the particular programs or not? Because you are collecting students, you are not selecting, means your output will low. That's why entrance exam also contributing to develop the image of the organization. If low graduation rate is there because of the quality program and poor selection system, your low brand image will be low. Another is outcomes. Outcomes means employment of the graduates. If your graduates employment rate is very low employment rate, only 40% graduates are employed, 60% are unemployed, or only 50% are employed, means the image of organization, image of institutions automatically fall down. And stakeholders' interest. Another factor is weak practical partnership and involvement. If the stakeholders partnership with the stakeholders is very weak, means not practical partnership, only paper-based partnership, or if you want to show some report to others or donor, oh, we did partnership, we did MOU with 100 industries, but in reality, not single industries are practically partnering with you, means your image will go down. That's why these are the basic factors which can bring low brand image of the TVET Institute. Okay, so we have to be careful about these things, these reasons. So you must have answer. So you should be ready to overcome these barriers, regions which are damaging our image in the society, in the market. So how can we bring positive image towards TVET? So based on, like we saw already, what are the factors and why our image will go down as an TVET institute or TVET programs? We can bring positive image. If you, like I already mentioned, to bring positive image in your organizations with your programs, you have to introduce quality management system, we call QMS, in place. So quality management system we already discussed. So you have to apply QMS in your institute. Competent and quality graduates. So we have to produce very competent and quality graduates. Because if we couldn't produce competent and quality graduates, the employment rate will low, and that means the image will go down. And meaningful and practical service to community and stakeholders. As we discussed already, if we are talking with community partnership with stakeholders, so there should be a meaningful and practical service. We have to provide meaningful service to local community, not like a traditional way. Then practical partnership with industry. So whatever MOU we sign with industry, we have to convert that MOU to MOA, Memorandum of Agreement, Memorandum of Understanding. Then we have to sign Memorandum of Agreement to implement practical partnership, practical activities like on-the-job training, apprenticeship, curriculum development things, industry exposures, guest lecture from industry, and institute can provide, different training for industry, so many things. And functional interactions with elements of labor markets. So our institutions should have a very good, like a functional interaction means we should have a very good research and development unit. Our research activities should be very, practical, pragmatic, and real. If you have a very, active research and development activities, it will able to functional interactions with the elements of labor market. Otherwise, we can't. Then appropriate rates of return on a rational level, like we already discussed. So rate of returns, ROI, return on investment, should be rational level for the parents, for the students, for the industry, for the institutions as a whole. And positive projections into the future with respect to identity, image in our minds, and cultural perception, as well as behavioral patterns on an emotional level. Like, so we have to, as an institute, we have to project for the future, very good positive projection. Our institutions will develop cultural value, maintain cultural values, produce ethical graduates, will develop organizational values and, patterns on an emotional, like a emotional intelligence, high emotional intelligence graduates, high ethical values graduates, high personal, traits graduates. Then automatically the image of institutions will boost. So these are the basic ways we can do, and we already discussed more. Now I'm showing one matrix like a stakeholders' interest in the image of TVET. So you have many stakeholders. What are their interests in the image of TVET? Like, for example, stakeholders, like for individuals, students, and training institutes, a good image of TVET quality. Always. Youth, they are looking for good image of TVET quality. Students also looking for good image of, and training institution also looking for good image of TVET quality. And expected benefit, what are the expected benefit? The market value, earning prospectus, career options, and professional and social identity. If they get quality TVET, their earning will be high, and there will be many career options, and they will get, if they get good career, the today's waiter might be a future general manager of hotel. Means the career ladder will be very good there. At that time, they will get social identity. The graduates of TVET may not need always as in single positions. If they can promote to higher career ladder, means the social identity will increase. That's why their focus, these groups focus always for TVET quality. And for training institutions, another interest of training institution is a good image of TVET improves. Training institute always want to improve their teaching learning environment, right? That's why they want to maintain a good image, like I showed the first video, image of the Florida Poly. So that type of, teaching learning environment, they want to make a high image. So why they want to maintain that image? Willingness of state and donors to invest. If you have a very good infrastructures, a very good image of your improvement, and if people see this institute, the institute A or B or C, they are improving a lot, they are investing for the, the teaching learning environment, and selections of students, not collections, and partnership with industries. If this type of improvements is visible, the donors or government will give you more money. Because government nowadays, most of the government, their interest to invest in vocational and skills training program, TVET. But if the capacity of TVET institution is not good, they will not provide money. But if you have absorbing capacity to improve teaching learning environment, even government will provide you more money. That is the benefit. Another, industries, employers. What is the interest for them? A good image of TVET quality. Because quality TVET graduates means they will get good, competent workforce, because their interest is, why the benefit? Competent workforce with knowledge, skills, attitude plus personality. KSA plus personality. If TVET Institute produce graduates with full competencies, KSA plus personality, then industry always interest for the good image of TVET quality. And for TVET teacher, a good image of TVET improves. They also want to improve. Why? If the institution image of TVET improves always, social prestige and career advancement of TVET teachers will be higher. Like an engineer, after graduation from university, they want to go government infrastructure department, road department. Most of them don't like to come TVET institution as a teacher because many countries there is a low social prestige and less opportunity of career advancement for to be a TVET teacher. That's why if there is a career advancement opportunity and higher social prestige, definitely people will come for TVET teachers. So if TVET institute able to maintain good image of TVET improves, TVET teachers will come. And for local community, also a good image of TVET improves. Community also want to see the good image of TVET improvement. High employment, social harmony, skill transfer. For society, these are the expected benefit, They want high employment of their community people, their citizens, and they want to maintain social harmony, means no social, distractions, no conflict, no violations, no drug users, no social low criminality rate, and high skill transfer from polytechnic to industry. This is the interest of society, community. That's why community is always good stakeholders to improve the TVET because that is the benefit for them. And for government, a good image of TVET improves. High employment, if the employment rate will be higher through the TVET, definitely government will be happy. And high, gross domestic production, GDP, and socio-economic advancement. So these are the interests of the government. That's why government will be a very strong stakeholders. That's why when we are talking image of TVET, we should know what is the interest of our stakeholders. So you have to identify, you have to do stakeholders analysis. Please, every institute, you have to do your stakeholders analysis. Based on that, you can identify their interest. Then you can provide services and product, or let's say graduates, based on their interest, means your image will high. So now I'm giving the examples of top 10 universities in Asia for engineering and technology. You see, like University of Tokyo, Japan, National University of Singapore, rank 2, Tsinghua University, China, 3, Tokyo Institute, like this, Seoul National University, SNU, Korea is in 10th rank. So these are the, and like Nanyang Technological University, Singapore also. So these are the institute, they are in the top 10 rank, because that means why they are in top 10 rank, there is an indicator, because they have a high image. They are able to maintain their image in the society, image in the international market, in the engineering and technology sectors. That's why they are in the top position. That's why in every country you can make your, enhance, strengthen your accreditation system. Then you can rank your polytechnic or technical schools who are in, for example, if you have 100 polytechnics, so out of 100 institutions, who are in rank number 1 and who are in rank number 100. So we can develop. So this is a kind of, whole branding and image building process can contribute to rank the institute. So market value versus attractiveness, like measures. So how can we measure image of TVET? This is a very good graph developed by GIZ, improving the image of TVET. One element is market value. Another element is attractiveness. If there is a less gap between, market value and attractiveness, that is considered as a positive image, like this, here. So measures promoting a positive image means if the market value and attractiveness should be very close. If they are very close, that is the high image, positive image. If the gap is high, means they are not close, that is a low image. These graphs explain this much. If you want to in detail, then you can visit this website. So typology of image, same document mentions like a typology of image of TVET. You see, I talk about the market value and attractiveness. So if you see low market value, high market value, low attractiveness, and high attractiveness. See, the high attractiveness and high market value means social marketing. So when a TVET institute reaches to in the position of social marketing, it will be your image will be very high. So once upon a even because this public institute is always for social marketing, but private institute means if they reach into the social marketing, their image will be very high in the society. And for example, marketing of projects, if an institute do only a project marketing, like if you get individual project marketing, mean low attractiveness, low market value. So your branding position will be very low. Marketing of institutions, if you start from one project to institution marketing, your image will little bit high. Then if your image promotion of certificates, like from institution to now you jump to promote your image to your brand, your certificate. If I acquire certificate from, let's say, Dhaka Polytechnic or TESDA TVET Institute or IT Singapore, means that certificate itself has a value. For example, if you have certificate of Harvard, means that is an image, that is a brand, That's why that level means high attractiveness, high market. When the institution reaches to social marketing, not only certificate, means you start to serve to the community, not only benefit of TVET Institute. If you start to sharing your benefit to society, to other stakeholders, that means social marketing. So this is called typology of image of TVET. So where would you like to stay? Would you like to, So where would you like to? Would you like to stay here or would you like to stay here? Okay. So this is the important things. So if you want to stay social marketing, then your image will be high. Okay. Okay, now develop a connection triangle. So develop a connection triangle here. Now this is my concluding slide based on whole presentations. So you see, this is a CPSC, like a logo name here, like your TVET Institute. Your institute will be center of the triangle. Like we have a brand. Brand means a bond that will not break. So if you are the stakeholders of CPSC, means our role is to make a long-term bond with you. So if you are TVET Institute, you have to make a long-term bond with your stakeholders, with your customers, means you can create your brand, okay? So brand is one part of triangle. Then another part is benefit of program. So we have to provide quality assurance and employability. So if TVET Institute provide quality assurance, means high quality programs and high employability of your programs, that means your customers will get more benefit. So another important thing is benefit of programs. So what are the benefit of the programs to your stakeholders? That is another important. Another is customer UST. The UST means ultra heat, testing. That is UST apply for the, this milk temperature test, right? To purify, to make long-term existence of that milk. When we do this UST treatment, the life of milk will enhance. That's why customer UST means if you want to maintain your customers always, like a long-term partnership, You want to attract your customers not for only one program, forever, for 50 years, for 100 years, means bonds of family. So we have to, as an TVET Institute, we have to develop relationship with not only with the students, we have to develop relations with their family and friendships. So within the students, we have to develop friendships. Like then alumni, we have to create alumni of our institutions. So using institutional alumni with the family, then friends, we can enhance image of our institutions. That's why these three elements is very important: customer UST, brand, and benefit of program. This is called develop connection triangle. So the concluding remarks is, as an TVET institutions, please make your own brand, provide benefit to your customers or your stakeholders, then maintain that customer UST for always using alumni, friendship, family members. So extend the tie-up not only with your graduates, tie up with their friendship and employment providers. Okay, so this is called develop a connection triangle. If we able to develop a connection triangle, then we can maintain our image in the society. That's why we can enhance, with this approach we can enhance image of the TVET. So last slide, if you remember, I showed this slide in the beginning. At that time I asked what are these things, but now I am answering why these are popular. So in the beginning I asked what are these logo, what are these, but now I am telling you why these are popular. See, Nike, why Nike is popular: quality, durability, pride, and feel running. When you use the Nike product, you feel you are running, means you are like a ear, you are like a cotton. So, and we feel cotton. That's why we feel quality, you know. Then, like a Barcelona, when we see this logo, what you feel? Oh, champion. Many times champion in the La Liga, in the Spanish La Liga, even European champions. And when we see the Barcelona logo, we always feel the face of Messi, Leon Messi, right? The Argentine skipper, football player. When we see this logo, the face of Messi will come together, and history of the football club. That's why brand is not only logo. I explain you, brand comes with many other elements. So when you see this logo, many other elements comes, like Switzerland logo. We feel, when we see this logo, we feel beautiful country, mountain country, but very beautiful and rich country. Everything in Switzerland is quality, like Swiss knife, watch, everything. Then watches, the world famous brand watches are there. Then Swiss knife and chocolate. These are the popular things we remember when we see this logo. And if you see the Harvard logo, you feel quality education, competent workforce, and personality. If you have the Harvard certificate, you feel high personality. You know, that's why this is not only logo. This explains many other things. And TEF, similarly TEF means quality TVET programs, competent workforce, and TEF graduates. TEF means always high employment, more than 95%, even 99%. Only 1% TEF graduates will not get job if they are not interested to work. So you want to be a TEF. You have to establish your institution as a TEF institute. Then only you can enhance your image in the society. And like Apple means when we see this picture, we feel quality, pride, unique. And Apple means the Apple products are different than other. So in other, either like in Android, Apple product cannot run. So they are differentiate like that. That's why these are popular, because of this reason. That's why brand is not only logo. There are many other things. Okay. So thank you very much. So according to Lord Buddha, true love is not found, it is built. So if you want to get true love from your clients, your customers, your stakeholders, you have to build your love. You have to build your image. Then only you will get true love. Otherwise, there will be artificial love. And within 3 months or next, after completion of one programs, if you have not developed brand, or if you have not done brand image building things, maybe after completion of 1 year programs, nobody will come to your institute. That's why true love is not found. It is built. And another quote from the Gordon B. Hinckley: you can build a great building. You can't build a great building on a weak foundations. If you want to develop your institutions as a great institution with #1 rank or high image in your society, you cannot do that with a weak infrastructures, with elements, with campus environment, with weak leader, with teaching staff, weak, less competent workforce, very traditional programs, without 21st century skills, without technology. So you have to select students, not collect. Then only you can erect your polytechnic like this. So, and otherwise, if your foundation is weak, you cannot build a great organizations, or you cannot, if your elements, image building elements are weak, you cannot develop high image building of your TVET Institute. Thank you very much. So it took very long times. Thank you very much. So I'll go to some questions and try to answers. So any stops here, okay? Okay. Elements are weak. You cannot develop high image building of your TVET Institute. Thank you very much. So it took very long times. Thank you very much. So I will go to some questions. And okay. Try to answers. So there is a questions from the Thusen from maybe she's from Myanmar. Some teachers don't know about business. So how to solve for setting up the business goal for TVET? Question number 2, some Myanmar teachers don't know which technologies are applied in local, and their teacher other technology than from. So I think for that goal, you have to every institutions, you have to do, I already mentioned strategic plan. So if you have a very good, vision, mission, goal, objectives, first you should have a strategic plan. And strategic plan means there will be a strategic goals, organization goals. And for teacher, that's why you have to provide more teacher training, and we have to provide exposure to our teacher with industry. Then they can tie up, they know about the new technology things. If they have not entered into the industry, they cannot explain about, they don't know about the new technologies. Strategic plan means there will be a strategic goals, organization goals. And similarly, some other questions are like, there are many questions, but I think I answered many because the many questions were in the beginning. So if any institutions, there is a questions from Mohammad Salib Tariq. How can we branding our training and promote it as best training inside country? So I think this answer already given my later part of the presentation. So no need to explain this. And Bajramon Adhikari, there is a questions. In our locality, low-grade securing students are preferred to join. Such skill building institution and institutions are poor in infrastructure. In this state, how could we make our students brand in local industries? And that's why, minimum requirement, you must have minimum requirement of your infrastructures. And I already told in my presentations, we have to select student, not collect. If you collect students, that is your number game, not quality game. So if you trap with number game, you cannot produce quality workforce. So as an institute principal, you have to provide minimum infrastructure within your learning environment. Then you have to select right students. Otherwise, you cannot provide quality training. Similarly, there is a questions from Mohammad Sekawat Ali. If institution ensure the implementation TQM, then is it not sufficient to uphold and upgrade the image of that institution? I think you got already answers. You know, TQM, total quality management. If you have applied either total quality management or quality management system in place, definitely all quality related indicators and image building indicators come there. Means in total quality management, you always try to satisfy your customer. So automatically, it will come. So first, not only in your paper, my institute, Bangladesh Technical Education Board, or virtual training center is implementing TQM, is not the implementation of TQM. By heart, by plan, by real heart, by in real practical field, and with industry, with your customer, you have to apply TQM. Then your brand will be, you are right. If you have real implementation of TQM, your image will be high. And there is a questions from Samuel Solanki. I think he is from India. What mechanism can be applied for improving low brand image of Asian education institution? I think I already answered. How can we enhance the image? So because maybe you asked these questions very early, the later part of presentation, how can we enhance the image of TVET institutions? Please go to my presentations. And there is a Dolly Grace from Dolly Grace Gantalos, maybe she's from Philippines. She has asked, is it affect to the low outcomes of the brand image? For instance, they took an education course and then passed the licensure examination for teachers, but they did not use their teaching professions. Yes, if just only taking license is not the things, you must have the licensed teachers. And if they are, because in Philippines, there is a teachers licensing system that is called competency assessment of TVET teachers. There is a level 1, level 2, level 3. Many other countries, they don't have. But means all TVET institutes should have license like a competency assessment teachers, means they are assuring one sort of quality. But if they are not using that teachers and they are not involving in teaching, definitely the image of the TVET graduates, there will be low outcomes. That is obvious. And Miss Sakuntala Thanju, she is from Tansen Nursing School, principal from Nepal. Tansen is a very beautiful place of Nepal. If you people visit Nepal after COVID, don't forget to visit Tansen. She will welcome you, all you. And she asked, like maybe situation, COVID situation, maybe we need to use more of virtual clinicals or labs, even for health sector students. What do you think about this? Yeah, because this situation, you can focus online classes, virtual class theory part, and you can go to different companies. Then you can buy some virtual artificial intelligence AI things, virtual labs like X-ray machine things, whatever practical you can use. Then after COVID, you can convert your student into real practical things. So we have to optimize. We have to optimize this period for more learning. That's why we have to conduct online theory class, online virtual class. That is a very good suggestion. Please do that. That is called dynamic leader, as an TVET institute. If you cannot conduct that, for example, in CPSE, we conducted always face-to-face training, physical training. But for regional program also, we already announced in June 15 to 19, we are conducting international regional programs for 5 days programs, and July first week also. And we have already sent invitation to our member countries as an official, because in that program we will not conduct like this. We will conduct very focused programs for 5 days with assignments, assessment, and certification. That's why each country will select 5 to 10 persons. Then we will provide them a different password. That's why we are diverting our learning environment into the virtual things. So we have to do, otherwise we cannot manage. Similarly, there is a questions from Abigail Upena. Maybe she is also from Philippines. Is it possible for TVET institution to shift its branding and image? If so, how can we change your brand or image perception? K2 everyone. How to create, motivate rural background students. Yeah. So that's why, if you remember the process of branding and image building, so you have to identify target group. Like if you are targeting for the rural people, then your branding or your content should be different. Like in rural area, you cannot conduct online things. So you have to go for face-to-face or other approach. Then you have to develop materials accordingly. Then you have to do promotional things differently. Then you have to identify rural-based small industries. You cannot tie up with big industries. So there are many elements. I think these questions also already answered with my presentations. And similarly, these are the major questions, I think. So far, these are the things. Hope, will this be a barrier for emails? I think these are the major questions. I think most of the questions like already answers. So today we discussed about what is brand for TVET institution. Not only the name of your institution is not brand. Your name, your logo, your associate logo, means like your department or ministry logo, your leadership, your teaching learning environment, your human resource, your curricula, your teaching andragogy, your linkage with industry, your communication systems, all, and work with your stakeholders, all is considered as your brand. So, and how your stakeholders, how your customers feels, how they perceive to your brand is the brand image. So from brand identity to brand image, to develop brand image, the whole process is called branding, like marketing. So the branding is a continuous process from brand identity to brand image. So if you sustain in the market with quality brand image, that is called successful TVET institutions. For that, if you remember the last slide, the typology, what brand you are offering. Sometimes brand means not only your institutional brand is one place, another is program brand. For example, if you are conducting 10 different programs, but only 3-4 programs has a very good image in the market, and many students comes, and in some programs like 5-6 programs, if you are not getting even students what you are your quota, like for example your quota is 40 seats, but if you are getting only 10 applicants, means you have to close that type of programs. If you run that type of programs, it will not enhance your brand image. Instead of that program, you can identify new program. Most of these public institutions, they are running same programs what they run in the 1980, 1990. So we have to think as a leader. You have to give feedback to the ministry. You have to give feedback to the department. These programs are absolute. Based on 21st century skills, we have to develop new programs, and we are closing these 6 programs, and we are introducing these new 4 programs. So then only if you are very diverse, vibrant, active, because if you remember the second video, you are the ambassador, you are the key persons, you are the messenger who can pass good message to maintain your image. You maintain your brand image in the market. You are the director, principal. Okay, so thank you very much. Hope you got some ideas, and I know many institutions are doing best. So if you want to establish very good brand image, maybe with this platform, you can develop networking with other institutions. You can chat with friends through this Zoom. Like Institution of Mongolia can chat with Thailand. The Institute of India can chat with Malaysia. The Institute of Bangladesh can chat with Philippines. Then you can develop stakeholders like a partner. Then you can conduct exchange program. Then you can learn from one institute, and you can bring good image, good part of one institute to another institute. So this is also the Zoom, and this type of webinar is don't feel only participation. Try to develop network with other principal, other director. Then it will strengthen and it will enhance your image, your institutional image in the other countries also. So thank you very much. On behalf of Colombo Plan Staff College, I would like to thank all the professional team, like all the professional personalities around the globe, and to my faculties and technical teams. Sorry for long presentations. Once again, thank you very much. Namaste. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very special. Very special.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very
everybody.
much. Thank you, everybody.
you very much.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Assalamualaikum.
very much, sir. It's been an informative
Assalamualaikum.
webinar. Undoubtedly, it is going to help us a lot.